What's up, everybody? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you are thinking about going to therapy. You're not really sure if therapy is right for you. You've tried and it's just not working out. So I asked therapists online, what would you say to somebody who's nervous or hesitant about going to therapy? And here's what they said. First, don't be discouraged if it takes a while to find the right fit. Therapy is not a one-size-fits-all. You're sharing your life experience with somebody, so don't be discouraged if you're not finding a therapist right away. Kind of similar to that is therapy can often feel very committal, like you're going to commit to this big long process of therapy, but it doesn't have to start that way. You can do first consultations with therapists, often for free, without having to commit to anything. And most therapists don't force you to commit at all. It's a pay-as-you-go type of situation. So if you're unsure about it, reach out to a couple of therapists, do a first session, see if you mesh with anyone. There's really no pressure. Third, therapy is designed to move at your pace. So it's okay to feel nervous. And tell your therapist you feel nervous. They see probably 20 to 25 clients a week. You're not going to be alone in that feeling. They can talk you through, your nerves about therapy and help you kind of cope with that emotion and move the therapy along at a pace that you're comfortable with. 4, again, understand it's a process and the therapist wants to make sure you feel comfortable and that it's okay to shop around. So it might even help to be up front in that session. Like, hey, I understand, I think it's time for me to go get therapy. I'm talking to other therapists as well. It's almost like dating, you're not on a first date and saying, hey, I'm committed to you. You're going out, you're meeting a therapist. Hey, are we a good match? If not, you're talking to somebody else. Is that therapist the better match? Another thing that a therapist said is, hey, this takes strength. I'm proud of you, and way to put yourself first. I know personally, I've put my emotions and my own needs way down in priority in life. And when I took the step to go get therapy, it was a huge relief. And it became my favorite day of the week after like my 3rd or 4th session, because I loved going to therapy and having somebody there who was entirely focused on listening to what I wanted to talk about and what my needs were. And finally, your future self will thank you. So these are just a couple things that some therapists said. And again, a lot of these things were said multiple times. Like, it's okay and helpful to shop around. And the fact that you're thinking about reaching out is already a good sign. Like, again, it doesn't have to be this big committal thing. It doesn't have to be, like, mental health is a spectrum. You can be the happiest, best mental health person in the world, or you can be all the way on the other end of the spectrum. But you can go to therapy anywhere in between there. So don't feel like, there's this line of I have to be here in order to go to therapy. That line doesn't exist. You can go to therapy at any time, and a therapist will be happy to help you with whatever you want to work on. So there's a couple things that therapists want people to know about what you should do if you are nervous or hesitant to go to therapy. So if you've gotten to the end and now you're like, okay, maybe this therapy thing is right for me, here's a couple of resources to check out. 1, I actually own a company called Haley. It's a mental wellness company where we connect people with mental health resources. We have an app right here on the App Store. We also have forhaley.com, which is a search engine to help you connect with mental health content or therapists from around the web. One of the sites that we link out to is Therapy Done. Great therapist directory, thousands of therapists on there that are very inclusive as well. Another company, growtherapy.com. There's Alma, which you've probably seen. And the thing that I really like about those two companies is they support therapists in private practice. They're not these like big companies that just employ a bunch of therapists. So there's a couple of resources. There's some content, ways to find therapists. And again, don't be afraid if it takes a couple of therapists in order to find the right one. The other thing that I will give you a heads up on is it might take a couple people in order to hear back. Most therapists see anywhere from 20 to 25, 26 clients a week. And so if they have a full caseload already, they might only be taking, one new client a month or one or two clients a month that are brand new because they already have a full practice. So don't feel like you have to reach out to one therapist at a time. Go ahead, go find a clinician directory, do some of the filters to find what you're looking for, and go ahead, shoot out a message to several of them and see what you hear back. I wish you all the best. Super proud of you for taking this step.